Hi. Hey. What's up?
All your favorite artists.
Check it out.
Say my name.
DJ Khaled.
This is Mila J.
Bruno Mars.
On hot7025fm.com.
It's your main man, 360 the Poet from the Morning Wood. And are you looking for the perfect drink? Well, you found it. Mimosa Royale is the perfect combination of California sparkling white wine and natural juice that is both tasty and refreshing. No artificial colors or flavors, no sugar added, and it's gluten-free. As the world's first ready-to-drink mimosa, Mimosa Royale is perfect for any occasion, day or night. You no longer have to drink 12 of those seltzers just to get that perfect buzz. At 8% alcohol, Mimosa Royale is the perfect drink to party with. Offered in a variety of flavors and sizes, you are bound to find a Mimosa Royale that you'll love. We have berry, mango, apple, and orange, with more flavors to come. Mimosa Royale is the most award-winning flavored wine that serves in bottles or cans. You can find them online at drinkmimosa.com or find them at your local liquor store. Ask for it by name. Mimosa Royale.
Keep your radio dial right here. You're locked into the hottest news station on the planet. Hot 702.5 in FM sound. Blazing today's hip-hop, R&B, and pop music. Keeping your radio on fire. Bringing you the hottest, realest, riskiest talk shows live 24/7. Live on hot7025fm.com.
Hello. It is Thursday. What's going on? Let's talk lovers. I'm so happy to be here with you guys today. It is exciting. Right here on the sexiest station on the planet, Hot 702.5. And I am your favorite love prescriber, Miss Love Doctor. And where there is love, there is inner beauty. So y'all already know what's going on with my beautiful co-host, Beauty on the Beat. And she is not in the studio with us today. And but we is gonna we are going to do this show in honor of her because she is currently at a retreat that is put on by her employer to celebrate just how hard she works and how much she puts her heart into everything that she does. And let's drop some hearts and some love and a huge congratulations to Beauty on the Beat. All right. So, knowing that we are here to talk love, but we also share love, and we are focused on spreading more love, we would like to let you know, if nobody has told you this week, that we love you. We definitely love you guys. So, be sure to call in, share this, comment, show some love, drop some hearts. And if you want to be a part of the conversation, 702-551-5261. We would definitely love to hear from you. It's a safe space, you know? But just be respectful, okay? Okay. All right, so this week's check-in is going to be on gratification. And I'm going to say that my gratitude meter is at a 24 plus. Like the level of gratitude that I have on a daily basis, and the more and more that I realize that I have so many things to be grateful for, I definitely believe that my meter is on a high. So there's a good thing. Oh, we got Beauty on the Beat in the building. What's up? What you? I thought she was celebrating a thing and she couldn't even be on. But I guess she can watch. So welcome. I know you having a good time. I was trying to see your videos, but it was too glitchy. But anyway, so yeah, like the smallest of the smallest things to the biggest of the biggest things, and the fact that you guys are tuning in and listening to us on a Thursday, I'm grateful for that. Like the level of gratitude that I have for that, I'm pretty sure that words will never be able to express that. So I'm always thinking of ways to make sure that I am showing our listeners, our our lovers, some type of gratification. So I'm always asking Beauty, like, should we do a listener of the week? Should we do a listener of the month? Should we do a raffle? Should we do this? Should we do that? So I've been thinking about a lot of different things. So I'm gonna come up with something. And if you have some suggestions and ideas, I'm open to those as well. So, yeah, gratitude level on 5011. And today is 2/20/2025. So if you are a numbers person, I feel like today is a magical day. And I read this affirmation as soon as I woke up. I don't know if it was like on the TV screen or what. And it was like, today is your day. And it's going to be a great day. And I woke up and I stretched. I'm like, ooh, today is a good day. And it's going to be a good day. And I mean, so far, so good. It's been a good day. And I declare the rest of it being a good day. So take a moment with me and let's take a deep breath to be truly grateful for yourself. All right. So let's take a minute and yes, and some deep breaths. Don't laugh like me. Take deep breaths. Okay. Okay, we got to get it through the nostrils and the heart and the brain. All right. So I honestly struggled with this. I couldn't think of what to talk about today. And I think Beauty was really worried about me because she knew she wasn't going to be on the show. And she was like, "Boo, do you have a guest? What are you going to do?" And I was just like, I'll be fine. And she was like, yeah. Like she had to convince herself, like, yeah, you'll be fine. But this morning I was really thinking about getting prepared for the Loverton Ball and the fact that I did need to have a topic and that Beauty was not going to be here, but I was thinking about the reason she wasn't going to be here. And when we talked about her going to this thing, I felt like she was a little bit quiet about it. But in reality, I'm like, you need to be a little loud about it, because sometimes celebrating yourself is a thing. And how quiet are we with the accomplishments that we do on a day-to-day basis as if it's nothing, you know? And I'm talking about some days basically just getting out of the bed and managing to make it to work and on time, put a smile on your face, coordinate, be cordial with your coworkers. Like, those are big wins sometimes. And those days, you never know. Like, that win is the win, okay? And those also need to be celebrated. Because sometimes you don't even have enough energy to smile at people because you are all in your own head with what you have going on in different situations and trying to basically balance this raggedy life that is provided to us sometimes. So, those are wins. Wins are wins. You know what I'm saying? So these could be considered normal activities to most people. Like, well, you're supposed to get up and you're supposed to do this and you're supposed to do that. We all know that there's different situations for different circumstances. So we can't just say, oh, it's easy for you to get up out of the bed, because you just don't know what somebody is going through. Because it could be weighing on them heavy AF. You know what I'm saying? So how often do you celebrate those small wins on a day-to-day basis? Even if you put something at a high, right? And I want to lose 10 pounds, but you lose 6 pounds. Is it a win? Let me go lower because we got to make it make sense. But you lose 4 pounds out of the 10. Is that a win? I think it's a win. And me and Beauty had this debate. We were talking about competition. And I don't know if it was sprint we was watching with the people racing to get to the Olympics. I'm pretty sure. Or this makeup challenge thing we were watching. But I'm thinking, like, out of the best, you made it. You get what I'm saying? Granted, you weren't the top 3 best, but you were the top 8 best out of the world. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, why are you so distraught? And I feel like we're taught that this thing called competition and accomplishments and achievements define who we are. And that's not true. There's not an ounce of truth to this thing, right? And so I think that we take for granted the wins in life because society has taught us how to just focus on the goal. right? And there's often this joke about Capricorns, and I see all the memes and all the videos and everything, and it's like it was one with goats jumping on the mountain, and they were going nowhere, but they're just higher and higher and higher, and it just make it seem like we don't stop to see what we've done. And I had to think about myself. Like, girl, you're guilty. You're guilty. But we want to make sure we also talk about those big wins, because the big wins are something amazing as well. You know what I'm saying? How often do you stop and smell your roses? Not just any roses. Everybody planting their own seeds. How often are you stopping to smell your very own roses? Sometimes that's hard to do. Sometimes that might be a little struggle because you don't have time. And we all have said it. We've all done it. We've all been guilty of it, not having time to stop, like, whew, got that done. All right, next. You know what I'm saying? So I can honestly say throughout this journey of taking myself back to school at this age was it was a struggle, not a struggle in a sense, but it was a thing of like humbleness. Like, yes, you didn't do it at a younger age. Yes, you didn't do it when you think you were supposed to do it. At the time, you felt like you should do it, but you did it, And every time somebody would call me, they're like, well, what are you doing? Are you doing homework? And I'm like, no, not this second. But when I do say I'm doing homework, they'll say, I thought you were done with homework. Well, yeah, that was last week's homework. That was the one that was due on Saturday. Now there's one that's due on Monday. Like, there's the one that, like, it don't stop. So it's like, you have to keep going. Sometimes you have to, like, literally, everything is scheduled around your time of what you can get done in a certain time. You know what I'm saying? So I can look at laundry that's sitting there and it's like, today ain't the day. Today is not the day for you. I wish it was, but it's not. And tomorrow might be the day for you. But right now I have this deadline and I got to get things done. So you literally sometimes do not have the time to stop and smell your very own roses. And I think that's pretty janky that's a thing, because you should have that time. You should be able to, like, bask in it. You know what I'm saying? But that's not always how things are set up. That's not how things are set up. But I think when you're intentional about it and you're intentional about making sure that this is something that you want to do, you make sure you do that. I think that is super, super important. But we often do take for granted things that we do because we're supposed to do it, right? What were you told as a child? This is something that you're supposed to do. And so you grew up thinking like, guess I better do this. I got to do that. Especially if they told you had to do something at a certain timeline. And yes, women, I'm talking to y'all too, because y'all know that by 25, if you haven't had children, if you aren't married, these questions be coming out of weird places, asking about your uterus and your womb that does not even mind your business, that minds you. Like, why do you care that I don't have children? Do you know how many times I hear that? And it's like, why not? Children are such a blessing. And not to go down the dark rabbit hole, but why are there so many in the system? Where are your parents at? They ain't noticed they blessed? So how about we take care of the kids that are already here? Don't be worrying about people's wombs and what you feel they should have accomplished at a certain time, because it does something to a person when you make them feel like they haven't accomplished something at a certain time, at a certain way. Because if you do get pregnant and you don't have the child's father in your life, then you also a failure. Like, there's so many layers and levels to this thing that doesn't make sense, but it makes you get in your head to the point where you don't even take the time to celebrate the wins that you do have, because somebody told you were supposed to do these things. And we move through life and we keep rising without questions, without celebrations, without acknowledgement of self, without really truly patting yourself on the back. When was the last time you were like, you know what? You know what? You just continue to crush goals. You just continue to keep moving, and being grateful to you every single day is really a thing. It's really, really a thing. And self-gratification is something that I think is honestly a lost skill, because I don't even know if we talk about it in an everyday conversation. Like, what are you grateful for? What are you grateful for? You know? And we never have to take the time, I have a second to stop and say, damn, you know what, Miss Love Doctor, you did that today. Sometimes it'll take somebody else to say it for you to even just take a moment and notice that was a thing. You get what I'm saying? And you deserve to be celebrated. We deserve to be celebrated. When I hear people say, I don't celebrate my birthday, I'm like, why? You know, and I'm ready to like, okay, we need to change their mind, because celebrating yourself is a real thing. Like, you made it. You were born. It is your day. It's the only day that belongs to you. Is the day you entered this earth as the human that you are right now. You made it. You know what I'm saying? So, I think it's very important that we celebrate all the wins, and giving yourself some form of gratification is the really true key to a successful life in reality. So we got to break it down like we do, like we always do about this time. So we're going to get the definition. And I did the Merriam Oxford definition because some of them were a little bit different, but I made sure I put it where it was at, because there was one that stood out, of course. So self is an individual's typical character or behavior. It's who you are, right? The union of elements such as body, emotion, thoughts, and sensations that constitute the individuality and the identity of a person. I like that one. The union of elements such as body, emotion, thoughts, and sensation. The elements. I really like that. It's like, it's really how you're made, and your molecules and all of your cells and your chromosomes, which is also how your emotions and thoughts and your sensations. I really like that one. Constitutes the individuality and identity of a person. You are yourself. Okay, so gratitude, the state of being grateful and thankful. Pretty simple, right? All right, so gratification, though. I was trying to see if there was a difference between gratitude and gratification, if there was like this huge separation. But gratification is the first one, is a reward, and use it in a sense of possibly being monetary. Like you're getting an award or reward, like Beauty on the Beat is now somewhere getting a reward. And an act of satisfaction or pleasure. And I was like, okay, so you're getting gratification, so you're satisfied. You're getting pleasure out of what's going on. Okay, I can get that. Because you're satisfied with the reward that you got for the action that you took. Okay, I can get jiggy with that. Okay. So, self-gratification, and I made sure I put this was a Merriam-Webster because it says it is the act of pleasing oneself or satisfying one's desires, especially the satisfying of one's own sexual urges. Do you agree with that or disagree? Self-gratification is satisfying of one's own sexual urges. So I went to this other one because I had to find something else besides that. And the definition.net had a couple different definitions. I guess they just find different definitions. and they had one that was created by Chat GPT. And I was like, oh, okay, all right, all right, all right. I'll be hearing all the good things about the Chat and the GPT. Even though I use Copilot, I ain't gonna stunt. Self-gratification refers to the act of pleasing oneself or satisfying one's desires or needs. This can be through physical, emotional, or mental methods. It is often associated with actions that lead to personal pleasure, enjoyment, or satisfaction, such as buying something for oneself, indulging in favorite activities, or accomplishing personal goals. Now that one I really like. I'm like, why does self-gratification have to be just about pleasing yourself, even though they were like on the same level of gratification? But it says to satisfy your own sexual needs, so sexual urges. But I guess that's cool too, because you need to do that in life. You know, the circle of life. It's the circle of life. And I really want to stop and think about something that you've done that you really truly missed the mark to smell the roses on. And they actually bloomed in your season. You had a season where your roses, they bloomed, and they were from the very seeds that you planted. Have you stopped and missed the opportunity where you did not smell your own roses? And I definitely have several times that I probably did that. I do believe that we don't do everything on our own, and we do have a support system, and that's an amazing life asset to have. But this isn't about your support system today. We're talking about something that you did that you are grateful for, that you possibly did not take the time and the opportunity to appreciate yourself for doing it. It could be like, I'm going to quit smoking. And then you quit smoking. I think that's a big one. I think everybody will notice that one. I need to think of something smaller, but just something that you've done, you've accomplished, and you just didn't take the time to say thank you for to yourself, because you need to do that. You thank other people when they are doing something nice for you. You thank them. So why not thank you? I think it's very, very important to make sure we thank ourselves. Do we often forget to celebrate ourselves and be grateful in the moment due to being way too critical on ourselves? I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say critical is definitely one of those things where we are so hard on ourselves, or taught to be hard on ourselves, to the point where, like, yes, we did make something happen, but the fact that it may not have happened the way someone's expectations were set for you were, or it may not have happened in the time that you wanted it to happen, or you just may not think that you were good enough and you didn't do your best. That happens all the time. Like, I literally was aiming for a 4.0, right? And every time I tell somebody that, the first thing they say to me is, girl, it ain't gonna matter when you graduate. It's like, that has nothing to do with what I did it for. I did it for me, right? And granted, I'm still on track, but I feel like my level of commitment could have been different if I would have been sitting still, you know, because I feel like this whole time that I've been in school, I've been on the move, literally. And I'm going to do a little reel about all the different places I was doing homework, because there's plenty of places I was doing homework where it's like, I got to stop in the moment, get my homework done, and then I got to get to this next thing, you know. And in all fairness, like, that's probably not fair to me. You know what I mean? But, you know, God's plan, he's holding me down, P-O-P, or G-O-D, whatever you want to say, because I'm still holding the number, but there's still that self-criticism that comes into play. Like, but what if I would have done this? And what if I would have studied more like this? You know what I mean? Not that I'm failing, but I just feel like I could do more. You know, it comes into play. It does. It does it all the time. I keep seeing these comments, but I don't know where they're coming from. But do we have higher expectations of ourselves? Is that an issue? I think so. I think we do. But I do think that most times maybe someone else placed some unrealistic expectations upon you that you probably didn't even realize. Or lack thereof, had zero expectations of you. You know, you can have a person who think the lowest or the least of you, and every time you succeed, it actually pisses them off. Like, excuse me, you weren't supposed to be shit. I'm still working on the cursing. I said AF earlier. You got to give me credit. But that's not fair. It's really not fair. And I don't think people understand the pressure that they put on people just by putting their expectations. And let's be clear, like, parents, this is nowhere near an attack. But sometimes and I could be guilty of this, what you've been through, or, let me say what you didn't do, what you didn't go through. You want to make sure that they have that experience. So your expectation of what they do is way too high. It may not even be what they want. Like, for example, if I was a singer and I did all these great things, now I had these children, so I had to give up my singing career for these children. But one of my children have picked up the singing bug, and they're actually pretty good. So now I'm telling them what perfection needs to be. I'm telling them what their range needs to be. I'm telling them how to come out. Like, hold on. They're children. Why do we have to put all these expectations on them? So when they grow up, they're looking to make all these achievements that have nothing to do with them. So no, they don't think they're doing great. No, they're not stopping to pat themselves on the back because they have not reached this level of an expectation that someone else put on them. And I've been binging America's Sweethearts. I had to do it. I had to tap into my cheerleader spirit. Yes, for like 5 seconds that whole thing came across like, I could have done that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm realizing like all they're being told the whole entire time is that you need to be perfect. It's got to be perfect. Your hair's got to be perfect. Your smile's got to be perfect. Your kicks got to be perfect in order to make the team. It's breaking these girls down by the hundreds. And it's like, I understand perfect, but it doesn't allow people to even realize that they're in a good space. They've done something amazing. You tried out. There was something that was going on with me from my childhood that I was healing, and I didn't do it. And so as an adult, I did it. I didn't make it, but I did it. And my family and my support system, they were sad, and they're like, I can't believe they didn't pick you, and they didn't do this and they didn't do that. And I was almost low-key content, like, but I did it. I did it. I think that was the biggest hang-up, is that I didn't try. At least didn't go out, didn't put myself out there. And once I did it, I was like, I think I'm cool. You know what I'm saying? Once you make that connection with you trying to do something that you wanted to do, and just sitting there thinking about what you want to do, it's a whole totally different ballgame. If you do it and you don't make it, it's okay. It's okay. Pick yourself up and try again. You know what I'm saying? So people placing those things on you will define the measurement of your accomplishment. You're supposed to be the one who define the measurement of your accomplishment, nobody else. So if I say that I want to make t-shirts and I'm not successful in making t-shirts, okay, because I probably already have another thought in my head. That's probably the problem. Like, I wanted to do it then, but it wasn't something that I wanted to do forever. And it's okay. It's okay. So what part does false fear of failure play into this thing? Oh, I think that false fear plays a major part in not being able to stop and smell your roses, because you're already afraid to fail. So you're not even going to try. You know what I'm saying? Like, you haven't even put yourself out there, because anxiety and all this false information has flooded into your mind that you're already going to fail when you haven't even tried. That's a thing. That's a real thing. And it's a thing that I feel like more of us suffer with than we talk about, right? Like, for me, putting myself out there means that I expose myself, which means I'm vulnerable, right? And then seeing what's going on in the world and how people are and how cruel and insensitive and fake heartless people are. People are fake heartless. Like, people have a heart, but they're so driven by things that their influences that it makes them like, I have to put this persona on to be heartless. Whatever. Perfectly fine. But at the end of the day, like, that is my thing. Like, nope, don't want to put myself out there. People are cruel. And I don't have time for people to just be attacking you because they feel that they can, and they get to have an opinion and say whatever they want to say and be cruel. Like, let's just keep it real. Like, when you listen to people or read what people write, people are cruel in the words that they say. Children are cruel. And the harshest thing is, like, go kill yourself. Stuff like that. Like, how do you say that to someone? And then they do it. And now, are you a murderer? I don't know if y'all want to have that conversation, but that's a real thing. You know what I'm saying? So, fear of failure definitely could play a part in why we're not taking the moment to pay attention to what we are winning at. Now, do I feel that, or do you feel that lack of support from those around you makes you feel like you shouldn't say anything about what you've accomplished? Maybe the people around you are just in a place of like, you did that? Okay. So eventually you stop saying what you did. Maybe you feel like you don't want to make anybody feel bad. And it's not about I'm doing this and you're doing that, but like, I feel like you're the person that I want to come and share this with. And then you get this lack of support from them, like, maybe that could be a reason why you kind of stop smelling the roses that are around you, because it is a real thing. It is a real thing. And I feel like this is one of the realest things is, what if you just have too much on your plate to really have time to stop? Like, when do you have time to stop and pat yourself on the back when you have work, children, bills, recitals, basketball practice, track practice, choir rehearsal, choir practice, church, taxes, Trump doing his shit? Like, you got so much shit going on, So do you have really true valuable time to be like, let me celebrate me? You know what I mean? Like, you did it. You did it. And there's so many things that we've done that I think we missed the mark. So I didn't see any hearts, but I want y'all to drop a heart. If you feel like you've done something and you missed the mark on celebrating yourself, you could either tell me about what it is, or you could just, simply drop a heart to let me know that you are one of those with us. So do we not live up to our very own expectations? Is that really a thing? In reality, I do think that we put expectations on ourselves to be the best at all times, show up the best, look the best, do the best part, sing the best, dance the best, be the best at work, be the best driver, just be the best dresser. And that sometimes is not even real life. You don't need to be anything that someone else thinks is the best except for you. So your very own expectations, are they too high? Are they a thing that makes you feel like maybe I'm too hard on myself? Sometimes, right? But Why is self-gratification key to life? Let's talk about that. First of all, we're going to tap on the most important one, which is your mental health. Taking time to fulfill your own needs can reduce stress and improve overall mental health and mental well-being. It helps in maintaining a positive outlook and an emotional balance. Let me hear y'all say emotional imbalance. Emotional imbalance is a real thing. All right. And then self-esteem. Engaging in activities that bring you joy and satisfaction can boost your self-esteem and confidence. It reinforces the idea that you are worthy of care and happiness. And so Miss Keisha 34 said, nope, they not too high. And yes, I'm absolutely hard on myself. So how can we change that, right? We got some solutions to that, because why are we hard on myself? Like, why are you hard on yourself? Why is that a thing for you? All right. And so other things to keys to gratification is motivation. It can help boost your motivation, because sometimes you don't be motivated to do a dang thing, you know? So rewarding yourself for achievements, big or small. Islands boost my self-esteem. Mine too. Society has done that, especially with women of color. They try to tear us down. They rip us in so many shreds, and we still pull together and become a beautiful art of shreds. Like, just stop. Just stop. Because, you know, that's a whole nother conversation, because we got to build us up. We already know where we are, and so do they. Personal growth, satisfaction, self-gratification can lead to personal growth by allowing you to explore your interests and your passions. Now, I've been on this journey of learning about dating, and they all about learning what the other person's passions and interests. What are their interests? What are they interested? What are they passionate about? So I could see that. Like, even learning your own passion. Like, what am I interested in? And I know if somebody asks me, first thing to come to mind, I'd be like, travel is my love language. It's my bonus love language. And that's something that I'm passionate about. But it provides opportunities for learning and self-discovery. You know, it's all good to self-discover yourself. And I don't mean it in the sexual satisfying way that the dictionary said, because it doesn't necessarily, but you can discover, but you could. Let me stop acting like we're not grown. I can respect the definition, right? But I think when I'm looking for something for a specific reason and my heart is set on there, when I read a definition that doesn't align and it doesn't really give me much more to hold on to or to deliver to you guys, I'm like, come on now, this is trash. Like, this is all we gonna talk about in this definition. So when I found a second one, my heart was full. I was grateful. All right. So if you guys have any things that you're doing out there for self-discovery, let us know. Okay? Because that is something that is ever evolving in our lives. It does not stop. You are always discovering who you are. And it's beautiful. Actually, I think it's beautiful. I think it's one of the most amazing things that can happen when you really can look at yourself and own it. Like, hey, hey girl, how are you? You are you. And it is what it is. Like, you're a very unique person, and hone in on the positive things about you. I think it's amazing when you do some self-discovery work. And it's almost like a light bulb goes off, like, oh my God, I've discovered myself, you know? So it helps in maintaining a healthy balance between work and personal life. Let me tell you, I'm working on a project right now about work and personal life. How are you guys balancing yourself between work and personal life? Let me know. Let me know what you're doing. Reach one, teach one. All of us are one band and one sound. What are you doing basically to Let me see. Let me get this up out of here because I don't share the show twice. To discover yourself, let me know. Girl, I went on a Groupon and looked up activities. I found things that I found interesting. I love that. I love that. And you know what? I have no problem with looking at that. I think that's something that I might try to do. But you know what I did do is similar to that is what is it? GroupMe. And I haven't looked at GroupMe in years. When I first moved to Vegas, I used to go to these GroupMe events, but that's when I must have realized, like, I don't know, like I wasn't looking to make friends, so I didn't make friends. I met people and I had a good time, but I wasn't looking to make attachments. But that's a good idea. That's a really good idea. So work-life balance. I think that's something that needs to be talked about a little bit more. And that might be a show that we might need to do on ways to create work-life balance because, baby, your personal life and your work life, and then they start to blend together, and then your work is bleeding into your personal, and your personal is bleeding to your work. And me personally, I can't stand for my personal to be at work. And I definitely don't want my work to be in my personal. Like, I will have a conversation with somebody that I feel comfortable with in the moment, go home and be pissed. Like, what did you tell them all this information for? What are you why are you talking so much? You know, and we were having a conversation. But in my mind, I feel like I've shared too much. I've shared too much of me. I shared too much of my personal business. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's just understanding, like, what that looks like for you. But I do it all the time. And I was like, it's okay. It's okay to have conversations at work. But as soon as I start talking about my personal life, I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Hold up, shawty. You know, well, you know that you've been bitten in the butt at work before when you be talking about your personal life. So I feel a way about crossing them over. So I feel like if you're my friend at work, you my friend outside of work. And there's things that we could talk about outside of work that we don't necessarily have to talk about in work. But if we do, it's in the comfort of us, you know? But I don't know. But it is something that you got to balance and ensuring that you take the time for yourself so that you can prevent burnout. I think burnout is something that is needed. Because we burn out all the time. And it prevents us from long-term productivity because how are you doing it? Like some of the things, and listen, some of the things that I see other people do, I'm like, how are you doing that? All of that, you know, because sometimes it be so much of it that you've been here, you were there, you did that. And I think about it like I used to be that person. I used to be all over the place. I used to keep a kid in my car to make sure I could freshen up. I didn't have to go home. I didn't need to go home. I was there where everybody needed me to be. And the second that I stopped being all these places, you could fill in the blanks, I'm sure. So remembering that self-gratification should be the balance, not lead to neglecting your responsibilities or the well-being of others. But it is about finding healthy ways to meet your own needs, right? And meanwhile, making sure you got harmony in your life and all this good stuff. It's very, very important, you know, that you realize that. But I think the more that you are grateful about you and who you are, you get this space and this place to be like, okay, cool. You know, you start making room for your work-life balance, personal life balance. Hello, love. How are you? All right. So signs that you are showing low self-appreciation. Let me see. Have you ever given yourself a time? Do you notice the time where you have appreciated yourself less? You were showing signs of low appreciation. I think I had a portion of my life where I was showing myself a lack of appreciation. And it was a big chunk of my life. But I had to also contribute and figure out what was the thing about that, the reason why. Why was I operating in such a low vibration? And once you dig that thing up, it's nasty. But once you dig that thing up, you realize, like, you know what? There's so much I have to be grateful for. Now, identifying low self appreciation is not difficult. There are certain behaviors that make lack of self appreciation very, very obvious. Very obvious. So, I would say some things are feeling unconfident about your abilities, right? We do these things every day. We do things every day. We do things every day. You know what I'm saying? And it's to the place of it's like you're still asking for validation from somebody else. Guilty. I can't stand when I do that. But I think that I'm not necessarily in the moment looking for validation. What I'm doing is solidifying what I feel from somebody I may feel know more than me. So if I'm asking you a question, it's because I value your answer. It's not that I don't feel like my answer is sufficient, but I definitely want to make sure that there is some wraparound. And another sign is not considering yourself worthy. Okay, let's see. My phone wanted to do something else. Not considering yourself worthy of recognition. I think that is big. I think that is big. There's people who literally be like, no, don't make a fuss over me. I think she might be watching this show. Don't make a fuss over me. Don't say nothing. Like you, and it's not the fact that you feel worthy of it, but you don't want anybody to fuss over you when you're worth being made a fuss over. You really are. Rejecting gestures of appreciation from others. Sometimes it's hard to take a compliment when there's something in there that is missing. People compliment you, they be like, you look really pretty in that dress. You be like, well, this is old. This is an old dress, but thank you. Like you don't just kill the compliment, So, and this campaign that I've been on, I need to bring it back. No negative self-talk. If you talking negative to yourself, you already not showing yourself appreciation or gratification because you already talking down on the beautiful human that you're being. Like I literally think my bones, my organs, my teeth. Like these are things that you need to be grateful for. My eyes, like I can see y'all, So you don't want to be like, oh my gosh, I'm this, I'm that, which I'm guilty of. I did that. I thought I was fat when I was nowhere near fat. So now looking at pictures of me fat, while I'm actually, when I actually get a glimpse of what fat could look like, I'm like, okay, I'm sorry, body. I'm so sorry I did that. I'm so sorry that I talked so nasty to you. And you just been holding me up, not holding me down, holding me up. Right? So hesitation to take on responsibilities, being too critical of yourself, relying on external validations from others. We already said that one. Refusing to reward yourself despite of definitely deserving it. You are deserving of it. Exclamation mark. If you notice the above signs in yourself or anyone around you, refer to these tips on how you could pat yourself on the back and show yourself some appreciation and be grateful for who you are as a human. Okay. Of course, I had to put number one, always, self-love. This is an act of loving yourself unconditionally. Stop putting all these conditions on yourself. We put more conditions on ourselves than we put on other people. And that's crazy. That's crazy. Irrespective of your gender, your social status, what you think you look like, what you think your ability should be, self-love can be materialistic or spiritual, but at the end of the day, it needs to be something that you incorporate in your life, right? Self-esteem is the act of practicing habits that ensure that you respect yourself and set standards for others regarding how they treat you. You set the standards of how people treat you. You set the standards, right? If often changes based on the recent incidents, situations, or mood. Now, that's the thing. That is the thing. It could change. If there are some situations that may have happened, it could change your self-esteem and how you view the access that you allow for people to have to you and how they treat you. But on the other hand, self-appreciation is about acknowledging yourself And it's about acknowledging your skills and the attributes of your behavior by patting yourself on the back for all of it. Not just one thing, not this big thing, not this small thing, but all of it, right? And so within the process of self-appreciation, one also identifies the negative aspects of themselves. Of course, you're trying to tear yourself apart because you might not be in a good place to even notice that you are the sugar honey iced tea, right? So I think those are big: self-love, self-esteem, and self-appreciation. Put those in your to-do list for this week. Now, self-appreciation is the act of patting yourself on the back. It is the biggest support of knowing your own self-worth, to know that you can put your efforts to make sure that you are motivated. And here are some ways to practice self-gratification. Treat yourself. Enjoy your favorite meal. Buy yourself something that you've been wanting. Indulge in one of your hobbies or your interests. These small rewards do bring a lot of joy. Take a break. I usually tell my clients, if you don't got 5 minutes, start with 2 minutes. If you don't have an hour, start with 30 minutes. But take a break. Allow yourself to take a break during the work, during your study sessions, and use this time, relax, stress, and these will make things more enjoyable. Celebrate your achievements. Period. Acknowledge that and celebrate your accomplishments no matter how small, right? This could be through a personal gift or reward, or simply taking a moment to appreciate your efforts. I saw this little plaque. I was buying Christmas gifts for other people, but I saw this plaque that definitely aligned with me. And I was like, this would be really nice if somebody can get this for me. But the way I feel about me, nobody else would be able to understand, and they may not even think to buy me something like that. So I bought it for myself, and I left it in a wrapper, and so it's time for me to open it. Self-care is huge. Make sure that you are taking care of yourself, however that looks like for you. You need some tips, some pointers, we can work that out. Hit me up. Engage in activities that promote your well-being, such as taking long baths, meditating, or getting a massage. All three of those work for me great. I don't know what works for you that really is considered self-care, but if you need to dig into it, let's dig into it. Pursue your passion. Spend time on activities that you're passionate about, whether it's reading, painting, playing music, or any other hobbies. How many of y'all had all these hobbies, but you never stuck on to one? I think that's where I'm at. And I think that's where I be feeling like I haven't accomplished anything. In reality, that's not true. Set personal goals and set to achieve personal goals that are meaningful for you. The sense of accomplishment can be very gratifying, and practice mindfulness. Take the time to present and enjoy the moments. Mindful practices like meditation, deep breathing can help you participate. We took deep breaths at the beginning of the show, and you could take one right now. Connect with loved ones. Spend quality time with your friends and families like I'm going to do this weekend. Building and maintaining strong relationships can be deeply satisfying. Exercise, because physical activity boosts your mood and your energy levels. So find a form of exercise that you like. You don't have to hit the gym for 2 hours like everybody else or do cardio all that. Do what you like. Just move your body around, whether it's walking, dancing, playing sports, the Wii, whatever. Learn something new and challenge yourself to learn a new skill or hobby. By the process of learning it and mastering it, it's something that can be very rewarding for you because you learned something new. You picked up something new. But what I'm going to say is, remember that gratification is something about finding that balance for you and ensuring that you take care of your own needs while also considering the needs of others, which is a great thing. But make sure you take care of yourself. What activities that bring you the most joy? Do you remember that we are all here doing our very best? And this is all that we can take to the bank. You hear me? Make a deposit because you're doing your best. Knowing how that you are is enough. And each pillar that you've built is yours and yours alone. And we have to be taught to look. We don't have to be taught to not look for validations of other kinds in different places. But truly the one that matters is yours. It's the only one that matters at all. So we must be our own cheerleader and have great awareness of self to appreciate who we are as an individual and a human. Patting yourself on the back is a form of showing self-worth and appreciation that you are loved and to love you. Be fully aware of your struggles, your positives, your negatives, your perseverance, your talents, how hard you work, every single effort that you put into something, the sacrifices that you make just to be a better person. Mostly you want to save yourself from going into this hole of self-doubt. That's not where we want to be. So from His Love Doctor, I love y'all. And I personally want to celebrate you and all of your wins, small or big. Beauty on the Beat, congratulations on all of your successes, girlfriend. Can't wait to hear about your experience. And I can't wait to celebrate all of you. I'm very proud of you. And you are deserved to be honored. So thank y'all for tuning in. I love you. See y'all next week.
Hi. Hey. What's up?
All your favorite artists.
Check it out. Say my name. DJ Khaled. This is Mila J.
Bruno Mars.
On Hot 7025fm.com.